What's up, guys? Right now I'm in the Eclipse and I'm about to head out to the junkyard to go pick up a set of upper control arms for this car. I'm going to take them and put the brand new ball joints I have for this car in different control arms, just in case something is wrong with these control arms. Plus it'll be a little bit easier to get the new ones cleaned up and make them look nice while I don't have the car sitting in the air. So that's what I'm going to be going and doing, plus it'll be cheap. And just in case the ball joints I bought go bad in the future, because I found out the ones that I bought are kind of known for going bad relatively quickly, which is fantastic, I'll be able to go swap some Moog ball joints into the original upper control arms and swap them really easily, because pulling the control arms off and putting them back in takes like 10 or 15 minutes. Doing the ball joints takes a little bit longer because you got to press them out and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to come back and do the ball joints and then start putting some gauges and stuff in this car. Also got some shifter cables from Aaron from 802 Garage. Shout out to him. Go check out his channel. And I also bought a little tiny glass pack muffler for this car so I can make it quiet so I don't have to yell over top of it when I'm doing anything. Plus I will be less likely to get an exhaust ticket in it because this car is really, really loud and I don't like it. So I'm going to put, I got one of those like ones that's like a foot long to stick on, and just something to help shut it up a little bit. So that's the plan. I'm going to go get heading out there to the junkyard, go grab some control arms, come back, and start working on this car. What the fuck? I hate Ohio. It's raining, and the sun is out bright as fuck at the same exact time. And I put kitty litter down and it's soaked. Fuck me. Alright, well it's looking like it's gonna rain again, because you can see that the tree has a giant mass headed this way. And hopefully it won't stick around for too long, but I'm obviously not gonna be able to get much done with it pouring rain outside. I'll go ahead and show you guys what I got from the junkyard, because I actually picked up more stuff than I anticipated on. First thing, grabbed another throttle body just in case my throttle position sensor is bad or the idle air control valve is bad. I'm going to swap this thing on and plug the idle air control valve in and see if my throttle issues or idle issues go away or change or whatever, just to give it a shot, because it'd be nice to be able to drive that thing and have it behave like it's supposed to. Got all these little clips because I pulled a bunch of brake stuff. Got a valve cover so that I can take this, clean it up, and paint it like red, or maybe just paint it black again. Not really sure what color I want to go, but I can paint it and make it look really nice, because the valve cover that's in there, it's not bad, but it'd be nice to have a red valve cover or something in there. And plus the valve cover gasket, I think it leaks just a tiny bit. I got, oh shit, oh well, seats. I pulled these out of a Chrysler Sebring. As you can see, it's in excellent shape. The fabric right here is like flattened out. For some reason the bolstering on the sides of these seats always wear out from people like sliding in and tearing them up. This one at least doesn't have a hole, and the rest of the seat is in excellent shape, and the padding on these is great as well. They're super clean. All the handles and stuff is still on them. Excellent seats. And then upper control arms and the ball joints in these are extremely tight still, like really good shape. So I guess I bought $20 ball joints for nothing. But nice thing about these is they're already sort of aligned, because they were on a car that was aligned at some point, and they look like they've been in there for a while. So we should be good there. And these control arms are a lot cleaner than mine are too. So I might go and wire wheel them and paint them. We'll see. And there's the other one. I don't know which side was what. And then brake stuff. So I got all 4 brake calipers, because the bleeders are stuck in all of my calipers but one, and these aren't spray painted red. I'm gonna clean them up and probably like paint them black or something, because they kind of look like doo-doo, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that even. I don't really care too much how they look as long as they work. And then I got new brackets, because the brackets, these are for the back, the rear brackets have like hardware store bolts in them, like really cheap low grade bolts. I got the stock bolts, the OEM bolts, and new brackets, because I think threads are kind of dicked up on the 2 rear brackets because they put cheap bolts in there. So all good. I tested all the seals on them. I went inside of the cars and pushed on the brake pedal real hard to see if they would blow or piss fluid, and they didn't. Hell of a lot cheaper than brand new stuff from the auto parts store or anything like that. And this stuff I was able to test, and we know it works because it's OEM, even though they well, probably been replaced at some point, whatever. So that's everything I picked up. I'm gonna go see if the weather's gonna clear up, and if it's not, I'll do what I can inside of the garage and wait for it to clear up eventually, because it's going to have to clear up eventually, obviously. And then I guess we'll just see what happens. It's kind of like an 802 garage video going on right now. It's just raining and raining and raining and interrupting everything. Okay, you guys saw that there was a giant mass of rain over there, and now it is fading. And now it's right there, so it just went just south of us. What the hell? Okay, well, I'm gonna go check the weather anyway, see what we have going on here. If I'm lucky, it'll go straight away, and then I can park the car right there, get underneath of it, and not get soaked. I came out here, I cleaned all the kitty litter up for the most part. There's still a little bit right there, but most of it's gone. And then I hosed everything off after I scooped as much as I could up. And you can see some of it's right there, but it'll wash away eventually. So I'm gonna go inside and see what's going on. All right, everything's cleared up, so I'm gonna go rotate cars around, bring mine out, and then get it jacked up and probably start doing control arms. All right, I got the knuckle off here, and I should be able to just, there we go, pop that off. Just 2 bolts up here, and then one that holds it to the knuckle, and oh my god, I'll show you guys that in a minute. There's one here, and then all you gotta do is undo these break these 2 loose, and then take this nut right here all the way off, and just hammer like in this section of the knuckle where you can see where I hit it right there, and knock that thing down. The knuckle will spring out, the ball joint will pop out, and look at that. I mean, look at how does it, that is just destroyed. Oh my god, holy shit. I hope, like, I know I'm probably kind of shaky with the camera because I'm trying to shake this, but damn. Alright, well, that's destroyed. This entire control arm is really rusty, so I'm going to go stick those on, which are significantly cleaner. This is the one for the driver's side. I mean, look at the cleanliness difference. That's just bizarre, and the bushings on this one are better. I mean, everything is just in way better shape on these junkyard ones. Man, and obviously, I mean, this thing's still tight, and yeah, the car's gonna handle way better. Like I said, just these 2 top nuts, and then that one right there, and then your control arm is done. This is way easier not having to press the ball joint out. It literally took, like, without filming, it would have taken me like 10 minutes to swap an upper control arm out. No special tools, just 17 mil for the top and bottom, and a hammer, and that's it. I'm also going to come in here and I'm going to weld this tab up to this part of the knuckle just so that this brake cable stays where it's supposed to. Alright, well, it took a couple tries, but I got this welded in, and of course the new control arm's in, so this side's all the way done. I can throw the wheel on and then move to the other side. Not going to film that just to save time because I got some other things I'm going to be doing. I also got to put the brake caliper back on. I moved it out of the way so I could paint this and weld it easier. It took a couple tries. I ended up having to put the welder on maximum for it to penetrate because it just wouldn't stick on minimum, because I should have put it on max in the first place, but I didn't think about it. But after doing that, it welded. I tried here, didn't work. Up here didn't work. Right here worked great. So it's sturdy, not going anywhere, and there's no more zip ties holding it. Alright, both new upper control arms are on. That one brake thing is welded in place. I'm gonna go take it for a test drive and see what kind of difference it made. Alright, what is up, everybody? I am back. It is the next day now. I ended up getting the shifter cables in and the new seats. I'm sitting in one right now, and then went to bed because I got up way too early. Shifter cables are, like I said, they're in, and there's no more ghetto-ness going on in the engine bay holding it together, and I don't have to worry about a cable coming apart. And of course, the new seats these don't have quite as much side bolstering as the stock Eclipse seats, but these are way more comfortable and they don't stink. In fact, the smell is totally gone now. Whatever nasty smell was lingering in those old seats, and the driver's side bolster isn't ripped. These seats are in perfect shape. All the buttons are on them and everything works, so they're very, very nice. And that was pretty much it. I'll show you what the engine bay looks like. Oh, real quick, when I put the new cables in, I didn't put the plate. I don't know if you can see anything. There's a plate that's supposed to go up there. I opted not to put that in because I'm going to use that hole to run my oil pressure line and my water temperature wire for the new gauges, and anything else I add will go there. And alright, there it is. There's no more like nasty thing holding that cable together, and I put everything back together. It's all good, all nice and tight. I had to take the intake manifold off to get to it, and that's like sliding down or something. I'll fix that later, but looks good, works good. Its shifting is a little bit smoother now with that one cable fixed. And right now, well, I'll head out there and I'll show you what I've been working on all day. Here's what I've been working on all day. This took about 3 hours. It's a new replacement gauge slash radio plate thing to go in here. And what I did was I took my old one, I traced it and everything I had, made some repairs or adjustments to where the radio goes, and got that the perfect size for this tray to lock into it. And then got the holes cut for the gauges. They're not perfect, but the lips on the gauges will hide the little bad spots on them. I ended up cutting them with a cut-off wheel and then cleaning them up with a carbide router bit. And I did the same thing around the edges of this plate, so it came out way better. And this plate's made out of steel, not aluminum, so it's a little bit more rigid and cut a lot nicer. The paint is still drying on that, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. And then later I'll show you how nicely, because like these little lips on the plate for the radio fit perfectly, and I already test fit gauges inside of it, so it is all good to go. Right now I think I'm going to go and actually put that little glass pack on the car, because that won't take very long. I just got to pull it out, cut the exhaust to whatever, slide the glass pack on, and then line everything up. I'm going to clamp it down and take the pipe back off and weld the muffler into place and then put it back in, and we'll be all good. So I'm going to go get the car jacked up and start working on that. Alright, well, I ended up getting sidetracked a little bit, went and grabbed an Arizona, not one of those energy things, sorry Aaron, and then went and put this together. Wanted to get it bolted up so that I could curve it to like the shape of this plate before the paint was totally cured, so it'll still be kind of rubbery, but it's mostly dry to the touch. Like I can rub my fingernail against it and it's not like rubbery or anything like that, but I wanted it to completely cure in the shape that it's going to be sitting in. And I got the cage for the radio in. There's still a gap on the bottom because of the shape of this plate, and because this plastic up here on top is what holds the entire thing in. I'm gonna let that sit longer now. I'm finally gonna go get the car jacked up, stick my little $25 glass pack under it, and hopefully make the car a little bit quieter. Alright, well, I just got the glass pack on the car right there. I had a jack stand sitting under here for a little bit. There's still one at the back because I want to make sure that tailpipe section back there isn't bouncing off of that rear swing arm, but the glass pack is all bolted up and tight. I'm going to start it up in a minute and see if there's any leaks. Something I just found down here. If you guys will remember, when I relocated the battery, I lost a bolt to the bus bar. Well, hopefully you're focusing. There it is. It's been there the entire time. I probably put at least 1,000 miles on this thing since it's fallen down there. And yeah, it's stuck back here behind the subframe. I don't know, that's kind of funny. I don't know, that's like, how often does that happen? Like you drop a bolt and it doesn't go all the way to the ground, and then you end up finding it still in the car somewhere. That's funny. Anyway, I gotta go pull that jack stand out and then set the car down, or I might just leave it up on the jack for now. Pull that stand out, start it, and look for leaks, and then let you guys hear what it sounds like. That bolt's supposed to be right there. That's where that bolt that's down there is supposed to be. I guess I'll just leave it down there and see how long it stays. I can't really tell tell if it's a lot quieter. So I'm gonna go and take it for a drive real quick and see if I notice a difference in the drone. There are no exhaust leaks, so that is good. So I'm gonna go take it for a quick drive and see if it is a little bit quieter, at least up top when I'm cruising, and if the drone has reduced. Alright, I got the muffler on, test drove it, and it didn't really make that big of a difference. I could notice a little bit, but it didn't really make the car much quieter. And the drone is still there, although I'm sure it'll help a little bit, especially if I'm driving long distance or something. I'm sure I'll be thankful for at least a little bit less drone, a little bit less volume. But I just put my gauge stuff back in, and I'm getting ready to wire some stuff, but there's a giant thunderhead just south of us, and I want to go and put this in for the oil pressure gauge, because that's where I'm at right now, is taking oil pressure gauges in and all the other gauges, the volt gauge and the water temp. This is the only one I have to go under the car to do. I got to go under the car, remove the old oil pressure sender, and put this in. This is the 3/8 inch to 1/8 inch NPT adapter, the double male fitting, and then block, which has the one going in and then 3 out. I got these 2 blocked off. One of these will be used for my oil feed line for the turbo in the future, and then the other is just going to be blocked off forever basically. And then this is already the one for the oil pressure gauge. For some reason it didn't go all the way in, so I cranked it down as good as I could, and I guess I'll see if it leaks. It shouldn't. It went in there pretty tight, but it didn't go in crooked or anything, so I think we're good. So I got all the wrenches and everything ready to go. I checked it before I go down underneath the car and try to put it in. I gotta jack it up, pull that sender off, pop this thing in, get the oil pressure line ran into the car from this, and then everything else I can do from like above the engine bay and inside of the car. So I gotta hurry. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can and hopefully not get rained on. Alright, oil pressure gauge is in, all hooked up. I just tested it. It works now. So now I'm gonna go get the water temperature gauge hooked up. So I have to go put the sender up in the thermostat housing right here, and I'm probably gonna go put that red adapter for the fan switch in as well and get that done. So, and then once that's done, I'm gonna go get the volt gauge hooked up, which will be really easy, and then hook the lights up for those, which once again is really easy because the light for the old cigarette lighter is still working, like the wiring still works. So I'm gonna use that wiring for the lights for the gauges. So I'm gonna go get to those, come back and show you guys the final result. Alright, I have nearly finished installing all of the gauges. I apologize if I skipped a bunch of stuff, didn't film a bunch. I'm by myself. I'm trying to hurry because I gotta go to work in about 2 hours. But here's the face, like it's all put together. It looks so damn good. Oh my god. And I've got everything wired except for the ground for the water temp and the voltage. And the power is tapped into, what's that little blue thing? It's tapped into the power for the cigarette lighter, which is also the signal for my radio. And I just use one of those. I don't like using those blue things because I like to vibrate and come loose, but it's inside the car. It's not a super crucial piece, I guess. But the oil is all hooked up. I think I already showed you guys that one. And all I've got to do, like I said, is run grounds and then get all the lights hooked up. And then I'll be able to put the radio back in and test it. But man, that looks, oh my god. And once the radio's in there and there's no hole there at all, oh, that's going to look so clean. These gauges, I don't really like chrome or silver, but those gauges with the chrome, it looks almost like what you would see in a classic car. It's so cool. I also got this hooked up. It didn't go in very far, but I didn't want to snap it because it's just brass or something anyway, so it would snap if I tighten it down too much. But I just cut the hose, used these cheap hose clamps. Well, this one's kind of stripped out, but doesn't seem to be leaking. I'll just keep an eye on it. This one tightened down good. Filled it back up with water. Here's the sender for the aftermarket gauge that's in there. Well, that one also didn't go in very far because they're expanding thread. They're the ones where the threads get slowly taller and taller as you go, but that's all done, so my fan switch should work now. And like I said, once I go and hook the grounds up and the lights, I will be totally done with everything. Alright guys, everything is done. The final product came out so good on this bezel. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I'm so thrilled with how this thing came out. There it is. Everything looks like it came like that factory. All you got is this little edge isn't perfect, but the paint job came out super good. The gauges look beautiful in there. The radio is nice and solid in there. It is not going anywhere. I can access it really easy. You don't hit it with a shifter. It just looks so good, and all of the gauges do work. Go ahead and start it. You'll watch the water and the voltage will go up. Bam, because the coolant's still a little bit warm, I'm assuming. And then let's see if we can get this bitch to start. And there goes the oil pressure. Let's let her idle down. There it goes. And the volts went from 12 all the way just below 14, so the alternator honestly could be taking a poo. I'm kind of curious what happens if I turn the lights on. It didn't. Oh yeah, it's flickering a little bit. But the lights, backlights work, as you can see there, which is fantastic. And I'll turn just the headlights themselves on. I'm super thrilled with how this came out. I also want to see what happens if I turn the fan on. Oh boy. Yeah, the alternator might be taking a slight shit on me here. It's been going for a little while, which might be part of the reason this car has issues, but that looks so freaking good. I am so thrilled with how that came out. Everything is done. So far, I haven't found any leaks anywhere. I don't want to jinx it and say there are none, but so far, I haven't found any. All of the gauges are working. I got the fan switch in, so I'm going to let the car idle and warm up and see if that kicks on. And we got the new upper control arms on. We got the new seats in from the Chrysler Sebring. We got the new shifter cables in. I made a junkyard run, got new calipers for this car, so I can finally do that in a later video. Super happy with everything I was able to get done over the weekend. So many big things that I needed to cross off my list are done. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, go check out 802 Garage. Watch his builds. He's the one who hooked me up with these shifter cables, so go check him out. Go see what he's up to. Anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going to catch you guys later.